Hi, my name's Andy, and on today's video, we're going to replace the headers on my 1966 Mustang with some new ceramic long tube headers from Summit Racing. The headers that are on here are a Tri-Y. They look like they were some generic brand to begin with, and I don't know if it was the previous owner or somebody before them, they had cut them up and modified them to fit the car better. There's a lot of cuts and welds, especially on the driver's side around the Z-bar. And in a previous video, you guys probably remember I had to repair holes in the header because the exhaust had just worn through, and so it's time to get these units out of here and replace them with some new ones. So let's get started. All right, so here's the new headers that I got. These are, again, long tube, ceramic coated headers from Summit Racing. I think somebody said maybe these are a copy of some Hooker competition headers or Headman, something, I don't remember what they were, but anyways, I got a really good deal on them, so I think this will work. They're brand new, so they're not gonna have any holes in them, which would be great. And I'm also hoping that the flange, this is a thicker flange than what's on my other headers, so I'm hoping that this will be a little more, better strength and not be prone to leaks like my last one might, seem to be doing. Also for the gasket, we're gonna go with these Remflex gaskets. I've heard a lot of good things about these, and I believe this is what I had on the tube. When you connect from the header tube to the rest of the exhaust, I was using those, and they seal it pretty good. But they're kind of I wouldn't say they're a one-time use, but once you hook up the exhaust system, you don't want to be messing around because they're pretty soft, and you can bend them and move them around and tear them up if you're not careful. So let's get the old headers off the car and get ready to put these ones on. So we're gonna start on the passenger side first. It's the easiest side. We'll go ahead and pull all the spark plug wires off and get them out of the way. Now I've got different bolts in here, and the attempt was, because of the header, the primary tubes, some of these I can't get a wrench in there, like this one right here. I couldn't even fit this style in, but the idea was to not have to worry about getting a wrench around these primary tubes, and it just didn't work out for me in this one. I had to use one of the old bolts because the length of these didn't work with the head of the. You couldn't get to it like this. This one's pretty easy. I can get to it right here, but this one, primary tube's in the way. All right, now those are all loosened up. It'll be pretty easy to take them all out. All right, we'll leave the last one in, just in a couple of threads, just to kind of hold this header in place, so when I unbolt it from the bottom, this whole thing doesn't fall on my head. And just like the other side, we're gonna pull the spark plugs out and then undo the bolts, and we'll just leave one in at the end just to hold the header in place while we work on the bottom. All right, we're gonna leave this bolt in just like we did on this side. We also need to go ahead and take the spark plugs out to get these headers out. They're just, tips of these are just a little bit in the way. Oh, I dropped it, but it's okay. Let's try it here. There it is. All right, now that we got this car up on jack stands, we can go ahead and take out the last remaining 6 bolts to get these headers out of the car. Take this last bolt out here. It's holding up the header. And now we can drop it down below. And it takes just a little bit of finesse, but you can kind of wiggle it away, all the way out, just like that. There we go. To get the driver's side out, we have to do a couple more things. We got to get this Z-bar out of here. There's a couple of nuts right up here on top that hold the bracket in, that hold the Z-bar in place. And then we got to take the spring and make it the mechanical linkage connection off of here. We're gonna use a 9/16 wrench, and they're just out of sight here, but there's 2 bolts, and we'll loosen them up, and that'll loosen the bracket up. All right, this is what the bracket looks like. I had recently replaced the bushings and stuff on here, so everything looks fresh and new in here. Yours might look a little more worn out. All right, don't forget to pull this cotter pin right here on the Z-bar. Once you pull that out, then you can pull the rest of the Z-bar out of the way. We also have this spring that we got to pull out of the way. This is help holding the clutch lever in place with that Z-bar. Okay, now we can pull this whole rest of this mechanism out of here. And there is the Z-bar, and it's out. All right, we just removed this last bolt that's holding the header in place, and then we can drop it below. And just like that side's out now too. If your setup is like mine, then you'll notice that the gasket's stuck to the block, so make sure you get that off there too. We're going to use a brand new gasket, so we don't need to reuse this one. Make sure you get the passenger side too. All right, here we go. Now we got the new headers set aside here. We've got the old ones out. You can see they're pretty well worn. In fact, even right here, you can see where the pitman arm was hitting these tubes here, and it was making it difficult to turn all the way to the left. When you turn the wheel to the left, I couldn't go as far as you could when you turn to the right because the pitman arm was hidden. So hopefully that won't be a problem with the new headers. And then you can just see, I mean, there's all these welded joints. It looks like somebody had made these or modified a set that they had found to make it work with the car. I don't know what they were doing. These ones, I'm looking forward to the ceramic coating to keep those temps just a little bit better in the engine bay. And again, the thicker flange, I'm looking forward to that. But if you look at here, see, try to set these up so you can see that this one's got an inch or two longer, so that means it won't bolt up to the existing exhaust. In fact, you know, it came with new, well, whatever you call this part. So we're gonna have to cut off the old exhaust because we couldn't use this end that's already on the car because I think this is a larger size. And then because those are longer, that we're gonna have to cut it anyway. So we'll get that all cut up and put this in place and see how it comes out. So yeah, let's go ahead and start getting these installed. All right, just like we took it out, we feed it up from the bottom. That's really the only way to put headers in these cars, is to feed them up from the bottom. And what we're gonna do is we're going to put a bolt in this front port here, just to hold this thing in place while we adjust or figure out how we're gonna cut the piping on the bottom. This way, this header at least is aligned with that point, and then that's enough to hold it in place. That's not gonna follow me while we're down there cutting and marking the bottom. Well, this isn't exactly where this is gonna be. Actually, this is gonna tend to be a little bit more where this is. I did have to push, you know, this out of the way just a little bit to kind of make everything fit. So what we're gonna do is, obviously, this doesn't fit. We can't make that work. And I need to have this piece anyway, since I did check this ring is the pattern or whatever is too small to fit with the new headers. So that's okay. We've got this piece. So we need to mark this tube where we're gonna cut it, and then we'll weld this to here. Now I'm gonna have to take it to a muffler shop because I'm not gonna weld that. But we should be able to buy a flexible exhaust piece that we can just slip over this piece and just put some clamps on there and just hold it, so at least, you know, 95% of the exhaust is gonna go through the exhaust system until I can take it down to the shop and get it welded. So here we wanna mark where I think we should cut this, and then we'll go do the other side. All right, put the header it's gonna be more or less right about there-ish. So you can make that work, and my exhaust guy will make it work. So that's good enough for now. All right, so I think from here what we want to do is we'll go to the other side and do the same thing on that side. So the headers are harder to install on this side, particularly with this in the way. So we're going to go ahead and cut it off. I do know that the header comes back farther than it did on the passenger side. So, and it's about an inch or two. So what we're gonna do is, right about here is the same with the other side. So we're gonna come back to about here and cut this one just past this elbow here. And again, my muffler guy will be able to clean all this up. You may have to cut more off and whatever they need to do, but at least I know that it'll fit. If we cut this off, we can get this header in here. We may have to raise the motor. All right, getting the driver's side header in is a lot more work. You need to lift the motor, at least with these headers, you have to lift the motor to get the headers past the bell housing and the steering box and everything. There's just not quite enough room. In fact, I had to lift the car another inch and a half. You know, put a block underneath the jack stand here to get this car up a little higher, because this was hitting the ground when I was trying to pivot everything to get it up in there. Anyways, we got it up in there, we're looking good. Now, I didn't even think about this. I was saying before how this system was longer, but I didn't think about that the position of the head is farther forward on the motor. So really, where this lines up with the exhaust is the same place as the other one. So there's quite a bit of gap there. That's okay. Again, muffler shop guy can take care of that. But I'm glad I'm not doing that work here. I would have had to figure out what to do with that. So the next step from here is we do need to do the clutch cable. We need to route that through and around the headers, and then put the gaskets in and bolt the headers up. So routing the cable around these headers, it's a little snug right here on this tube here, and it's not a straight shot into the bell housing, but it's about as close as we're gonna get. We do have this heat shield piece that we can slide over, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. So we may have to look into getting some additional heat shielding to put around this cable or around the tubing, you know, maybe some of that header wrap or something, just so that we don't have this problem with this cable melting, because I really don't need that happening to me. But other than that, the cable, I would say you could use these headers if you were doing a cable clutch. You just need to maybe just take a little more care with wrapping this area right here. But other than that, the cable's still a fairly straight enough shot that you should be able to make that work. All right, now that we got everything fitted down below, we can go ahead and take the bolts back off of the header here so that we can put the gasket in place. So now we got to put the gasket in, and the driver's side is going to be a little trickier than the passenger side, at least for my setup, because I've got that cable in the way that's kind of putting some resistance on the headers, but I think we can make this work. All right, so all those are in. The nice thing about, I like these headers because behind these primary tubes, there's a kind of a dimple that allows you to get a box end wrench in there to get to these fasteners. That's a big deal. My other headers, I didn't have that luxury. So, all right, this side's on, let's go to the other side. And just like the other side, we just go ahead and take our time putting all these fasteners in. Again, these things are notched out, so it should be pretty easy to put those in. So let's get to it. All right, that's the last one of those. All those are in. There's only one fastener that kind of gave me some headache that I had to use the open end on the wrench, but really all the rest of them were pretty easy, just like the other side. So we're good there. One thing left to do is put the spark plugs back in. All right, headers are on, everything's in place, got the spark plugs back in. This side, there's plenty of clearance around everything over here, but on the driver's side, the first primary, which is cylinder number 5 here, looks like it's gonna bump, it's gonna almost touch the inside of this fender here, or the suspension cover. I should have dented that in to protect it, but I think we're gonna be okay. I mean, it's almost touching. Other than that, everything's in place. Now let's go underneath the car and finish underneath there. Okay, you can see we've started the wrap. This would be much easier if I'd have done this off the car, but since this is an afterthought, this is the best we're gonna have to do. So just keep making a couple of loops, make sure you overlap the previous layer by half, and or at least half, and you just keep working your way around, and then you'll get it done. So this is wrapped up, ready to go. I got these ties on here, these metal straps, just to kind of keep it from unraveling. Got those on both ends, and then I just need to feed this sheath back up there where it was, and then I think this is a lot more protection for that cable than we had before. So we're looking good there. All right, this is the solution for the temporary header thing. So we'll just slide this on here, and then we'll use one of these clamps and put it in place, and do the same thing on the other end on the exhaust that's in the car. In fact, I'm gonna cut this in half, and we'll use half for each side. And then that'll just give us a temporary option to just kind of fit this exhaust up so we can drive it down to the exhaust shop. I don't have to tow the car down there, so that'll work. All right, so this is that flex tubing. We just needed to line up the coupling with the header, and then we'll put these clamps on here, and then same thing on the other side. It's easier if you do kind of these at the same time, get them all set up before you clamp them down and bolt them up, because once you do that, it's hard to move the whole system. And right now we can kind of move things in place as we need it. So get these sleeves on, and then put the clamps on, and then tighten it down. All right, so that's the finished product. Those things, you know, they're not the prettiest looking thing, but again, it's just temporary till we get the tickets to the muffler shop and have them do a final weld job and get it all nice and clean and pretty. So, all right, everything's buttoned up on the headers. That's a completed project. All right, that takes care of that. That's how you install some long tube headers on a 1966 Mustang. Again, some of you guys may or may not have the same issue I had with the cable setup. If you guys have the mechanical linkage, looking down inside there, it looks like it would clear a lot better than what I had before. So if you guys have the Z-bar and stuff like that, I think these Summit Racing headers would work great for your application. If you have a cable clutch, you know, after looking after it now, I just, maybe if I could dent that side tube just to give a little more, make that cable a little straighter. Really, it'd be great if I could get in between those two tubes, but you can't do that. I guess maybe if I could get inside there and squish them that way, you know, if you guys thinking of doing that, that might help you out. And then if you have a hydraulic clutch, obviously this wouldn't be a problem at all. That wrap that I put on there for the cable clutch wire, the cable, there's adhesive on the back of that, and after running this car, it smoked from the cooking that adhesive, so just a heads up on that. Hopefully, I hope that's not the plastic of my cable system not melting. So I don't hear any exhaust leaks, but you know, I'm hypersensitive to anything that this car, any noises or anything this car makes right now, so I'm gonna have to drive a little bit to kind of see if, let this stuff kind of break in, and then see if I notice anything from there. I still need to take it to the muffler shop and have them weld up that pipe underneath there and get that fixed, and then we'll be good to go there. But that's the nice thing about those flex pipes that we put in there is I mean, shoot, I could run it for a year or 2 years. I mean, that's what that pipe is designed to do, is to connect the exhaust, but it's just, we need to get it fixed. We just need to do it right. So I'll get down there as soon as I can and get that fixed, and then we'll be set. All right, if you guys liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel, I appreciate it. It really helps me out, helps my channel out, and we'll see you guys in the next one.